Throwing it back to the 90s and Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson was the face of the Orlando Magic. He played his college basketball at the University of Illinois, where he spent 2 seasons before declaring for the NBA draft. As a freshman, the stocky guard shot better than 57% from the floor and averaged 15.9 points per game and 6.6 rebounds. The next season, he put up 18 points and 7.9 rebounds per game and then declared for the 1989 NBA draft. Anderson was a first-round selection taken 11th overall by Orlando. Orlando was an expansion team and Anderson was its first ever player taken. In his rookie year with the Magic, Anderson played in all 81 games, starting 9, and averaged 11.5 points per game. During the next 3 seasons, Anderson saw his points per game average up to 19.9. With his emergence alongside Shaq and Penny Hardaway, the Magic were an immediate contender. Anderson spent the first 10 of his 13 seasons in the NBA with the Magic, averaging 15.4 points and 5.3 rebounds per game. But it was Game 1 of the 1995 playoff series between the Bulls when he made the great steal on the GOAT, Michael Jordan. And that became one of the most iconic and memorable plays in Magic history. With the Bulls leading by 1, Anderson poked the ball from behind Jordan in the front court. Penny Hardaway scooped it up, dribbled down the court, and he found former Bull Horace Grant running down the right side of the court, and then he slammed it. And the Orlando Magic benefited from Jordan's blunder in the final seconds in that steal, before an electric 16,000 was lit at Orlando Arena. Orlando would go on to win the series 4-2 by closing out the Bulls at the United Center. And to this day, that series is of great significance because it was the final time that a Jordan-led team ever lost in the playoffs. In just their 6th year of existence, the Magic used that defeat of the Bulls to reach their first Eastern Conference Finals. And there, they outlasted the Reggie Miller-led Indiana Pacers in a good 7-game series. Then they got to the finals. For Anderson, a Chicago native who grew up rooting for the Bulls and admiring Jordan from afar, his iconic steal on the Chicago guard in Game 1 still brings a variety of emotions some 30 plus years later. Rarely does a week pass and a fan does not mention that play to him. I still get asked about that play a lot and fans still talk about how big of a moment that was for us, said Anderson, who was inducted into the Magic Hall of Fame following his 10 years with the franchise. And my friends back home in Chicago are still mad about me for making that play to beat the Bulls. And we know Jordan has a 6-0 in the finals, but what about that year that he lost to the Magic? That year is definitely forgot about. Now, his father passed, he had a dabble with baseball, but still, 1995, you gotta remember that. Without a doubt in my mind, Michael Jordan is one of the NBA's all-time greatest winners. He had tremendous struggles that night with the physical and aggressive defense of Nick Anderson. In that game, Jordan, wearing 45 at the time, shot a pedestrian 8 of 22 from the floor and turned the ball over 8 times. The final 2 turnovers coming as a result of stellar defense by Anderson. Now, we understand what happened when they went to the finals, and in Game 1, Anderson, he missed out on those free throws, and the Magic never really recovered from the Olajuwon-led Rockets. But you can't forget the Nick Anderson effect, the kind of defense, the kind of hustle that he did have for a short period of time in the 90s, and in particular on Jordan. Dumars used to tell me about when he was facing Jordan, you're not going to stop them from hitting shots, but you have to make them work for their shots. So when it came to guarding guys like Michael, Magic, Clyde Drexler, and Reggie Miller, I had to try and make them work for their shots and make it tough on them with my defense. And we see it right there in Game 1, and lots of examples of how Game 1 plays late down the stretch really have a big influence on the series as a whole. But that wraps it up. Subscribe by the bell if you're new, give us a thumbs up, appreciate the view, and as always, thank you for watching, man.